Hey everyone, welcome back. Ready to dive in? Today, we're taking you to Lake St. Clair.
Sounds refreshing.
Yeah, it's going to be. We're focusing on kayaking and stand-up paddleboarding launching right from the Selfridge Boat Launch.
Oh, nice. A popular spot.
For sure. And you know what? We've got some awesome notes from a listener asking about this. Plus, we found some extra info on Selfridge itself. So whether you're like a seasoned paddler or just getting started.
We've got you covered.
Absolutely. So first things first, where even is this Selfridge Boat Launch?
Well, it's located right on Lake St. Clair in Harrison Township, Michigan.
Michigan, okay. And I'm seeing here, it's actually pretty close to, get this, the Selfridge Air National Guard Base.
That's right.
So you might catch a glimpse of some cool aircraft while you're paddling.
You never know what you'll see.
Okay, so let's talk about the launch itself. I mean, no one wants to wrestle their kayak into the water at some cramped, rundown launch, right?
Definitely not.
And luckily, Selfridge seems to have that covered. Our info says there are multiple ramps, huge EE+,
Especially
on
on
a busy weekend. Plus, plenty of parking, which is always a bonus. Restrooms, too. Got to have those.
Absolutely essential.
Right. And maybe even a picnic area. Oh, this is sounding like the perfect spot for a whole day on the lake.
It really does. I mean, having all those amenities makes a big difference, especially, for those who are new to kayaking or paddleboarding. It just makes the whole experience so much smoother and enjoyable.
Exactly. Get you out on the water faster.
Exactly.
So, let's talk about the star of the show, Lake St. Clair itself.
Beautiful lake.
It is. And it's not just a pretty face. I'm seeing here that it's known for fantastic fishing.
Oh, yeah, some great fishing there.
Walleye, bass, even muskellunge.
Wow, musky.
Musky.
Now that's a catch.
Right. So anglers, listen up. This is the place to be.
Definitely a hot spot. But even if you're not into fishing, there's so much more to enjoy. The sunsets on Lake St. Clair are absolutely breathtaking.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
And the wildlife. Keep your eyes peeled for all sorts of birds and maybe even some other critters along the shoreline.
I feel like we're painting a pretty tranquil picture here, but our notes also mentioned water skiing and jet skiing.
Yeah.
So maybe not always so peaceful.
True. Lake St. Clair definitely caters to, a wide range of water activities. I think a key thing, especially for kayakers and paddleboarders, is to just be mindful of the different zones on the lake. Some areas might be more suited for quieter paddling, while others are designated for the more motorized water sports.
Right. Yeah.
So doing a little research beforehand can definitely help you pick the perfect spot for the kind of experience you're looking for.
That's a great point. So before we all rush out to grab our paddles and life jackets, any potential snags about launching from Selfridge specifically that we should know about?
Well, it is a public launch, so you'll want to double check if there are any fees or permits required. Sometimes those things pop up.
Good call.
And it's always a good idea to confirm those operating hours. Especially, if you're going outside of peak season, because they can change.
Makes sense.
And of course, safety first. Make sure you're familiar with all the safety regulations, have all the necessary gear, life jackets, you know the drill.
Always be prepared. Speaking of being prepared, the listener notes had some really good advice that applies to anyone heading out on Lake St. Clair.
Oh, let's hear it.
First up, check that weather forecast. I feel like this is always good advice for any paddling trip.
Oh, yeah, especially on open water. Things can change quickly.
Exactly. And then, plan ahead, especially if you're heading out during those peak times. Get there early to avoid those long waits at the launch ramp. Nobody wants to spend their day in a line.
Definitely not. Time on the water is precious.
So it sounds like Selfridge Boat Launch is a great starting point for exploring Lake St. Clair. Super convenient.
Yeah, seems like it.
And the lake itself, it's got a little something for everyone, whether you're a hardcore angler or just looking for a peaceful paddle surrounded by nature.
Exactly. Just remember those key takeaways, plan ahead, check the rules, and maybe watch out for those speedboats while you're soaking in that sunset.
Good advice.
So thinking about all this, what kind of paddling adventure on Lake St. Clair are you picturing? Maybe a sunrise paddle for some early bird watching, or perhaps an evening kayak fishing trip. What speaks to you, Joe?